Let's talk about hair. My hair, specifically. So imagine me, 7 years old. Disney's Tangled has just come out in theaters. When I see it with my family, it ignites a spark in me. From this day forward, I shall never cut my hair again. Then I'd be just like Rapunzel. Clearly, that worked out very well. So, what happened? Admittedly, my hair has gone through a lot over the years. I've cut it, dyed it, grown it, watched the dye wash out green, got bangs. If you can think it, I probably did it. Nothing ever felt quite right, though. The image I was creating of myself felt like an approximation of the person I was. Some things were closer and some were further, but none of it ever quite hit the mark. It's weird to look in a mirror and not recognize yourself, you know? Anyways, quarantine hit and I was getting bored. I couldn't go out and get my hair cut, but I didn't want to let it grow out. My solution was to try cutting it myself, although mostly I just cut out the layers. I didn't look like myself, I looked like Olive Oyl from Popeye, and I was sick of it. It didn't take long for me to set my heart on the only solution I could think of, shaving my head. I went to my mom with the idea. I was done. I was fed up. I wanted my hair gone, and I was gonna shave it. "Don't do that," Mom said. She always said I'd regret it if I shaved my head, but I was adamant I wanted my hair gone. My mom understood my plight, and we agreed on a compromise. Rather than shaving it all, we'd just cut it short. Good enough for me. We scheduled an appointment at Great Clips later that week. By the way, this is when things were starting to open up again. I'm not a complete monster. The day couldn't come soon enough. The butterflies in my stomach wouldn't tell me if they were there from excitement or fear, but before I knew it, I was sitting in the hairdresser's chair. This was more than just a trim. Clumps of my hair fell in large, confident strokes. It was like I could feel the weight being lifted off my shoulders. It was freeing. Soon enough, it was over. I looked up into the mirror once the hairdresser had finished her work. It was flat. It swooped in a weird way. I looked like early Justin Bieber, and it was perfect. I loved it. Finally, I looked like myself. Eventually, I grew into my hair, and it grew into me. As I learned how to style it without it looking greasy, I realized I didn't have hair to hide behind anymore. No bangs to cover my face, nothing to disguise my jaw. I had to accept myself as I was, not just physically, but emotionally. And I did. I became more confident. I started dressing to express myself. I began to accept parts of myself that I had formerly pushed to the side. Everything was great. Then college started. Actually, let me rephrase. College hit me like a bus. As of making this, I'm wrapping up my freshman year, so all of this is fresh on the noggin. All of a sudden, I'm across the country in an unfamiliar place. No close friends or family, having to stand on my own feet for the first time. I was working too much, sleeping too little, and constantly sick. This was supposed to be my first big step into independence, but I felt more out of control than I ever had before. But in these moments of chaos, there was one thing I could consistently have control over: my hair. Coming to college, money was tight, and the hairdresser was one of the last things I wanted to spend it on. Instead, I bought a pair of haircut scissors. Through more error than trial, I learned to cut my own hair, the right way this time. My image of who I wanted to be was no longer being filtered through someone else's artistry. Now it was me. All me. When I cut my hair, I remind myself that no matter what else, I exist on my own terms. I am who I decide to be.